What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters: Yaroslav Gorbal, Thezion1111, Logan Wager, Grand Baron Ludwig, Jay, Rogelio, Richie, Yeetrance, Joshua Fix, Aaron Smart, Eric Phelps, Gino, Omar Bakhatib, Salosi, Garp784, Adam Hart, Norian Chum, and Christopher Mitzcog. Thank you all very much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to click the link below in the description to find out more. Thanks again.
Everyone's got their ideal Spider-Man. I mean, you know, their Spider-Man that they really gravitate towards and really like. For Jacob, from what he was discussing earlier, really gravitated towards like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and
just Spider-Man, not the Amazing Spider-Man, because
yeah,
I don't know, man.
It just wasn't your cup of tea.
A different vibe. It was a different feel to it. I guess that was just because I grew up with just regular
Tobey Maguire, yeah. Whereas, Nick, what is your ideal Spider-Man? What to you is like a Spider-Man that you really like?
I think my favorite is probably the Spider-Man from Spider-Man PS4, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that.
I like the way he was like. He still had like some of his humor and stuff about him and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like not like super like goofy or anything like that. Like he was a well-established Spider-Man, you know.
Yeah.
So
I still like the new Spider-Man
in
in
MCU,
but
yes.
Is this one narrated?
He does narrate himself a little bit with certain things.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
it's worth a play, dude. Jacob has.
I really want to play it. Actually, I do, because now you guys have kind of spiked my interest. Because to be honest, I've never played a bad Spider-Man game. To be honest,
and this one's no different. This one, the combat is amazing. It's very intuitive, but once you learn it, it is so much fun. Learning ways to take these guys out. You can like attach your web to them and sling them up onto the lamppost. You can throw a Spidey bomb at them. It knocks them against the wall, and
so you got his classic abilities.
Yeah, you got his classic abilities, and you also learn new ones along the way, and you also get to upgrade. There's also suits that are unlockable as you go through the game. Like, for instance, right now, the one on the screen that we're seeing right now is the animated TV series Spider-Man suit, which you get. That's actually, I think, one of the tougher ones to get in the game. But I remember I 100%ed the game. That's actually the second game on the PS4 I've ever platinumed. I platinumed this one along with God of War. Just shows you the quality of games that Sony's putting out there.
And then we had Spider-Man for the original Xbox.
Yes.
Okay. So Spider-Man 1 and 2 for PlayStation, and then we get one on the Xbox, and I remember actually playing through most of that game with my friend Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him kind of both did. I believe we might have actually beaten it, but it would have been one of those things where we've beaten just a couple nights and never touched it again.
Throughout the years, there have been some decent Spider-Man games. For instance, a lot of people draw back to Spider-Man 2, like the Spider-Man 2 game on PS2.
Yes.
Which it was.
And then that one changed up the formula a little bit.
Yeah.
It's more free roaming.
Yeah.
But was still really good from what I've ever heard. I didn't get to play that one.
And a lot of people compare that one to this one because of the open world, but yet the storyline is still so centrally focused, and it's always there, and you can go back to it literally anytime you want and pick back up on it, and it's like you never missed a beat.
That's really cool. And in New York City, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's one of my favorite cities in the world. So
big
fan of New York.
And dude, they went there's a few buildings they add in, you know, for continuity reasons, and you know, within the world of Spider-Man. But for the most part, all the different neighborhoods you can visit, and all the little boroughs and stuff like that you find, are actually very accurate to how New York really is. Like, you can go to Broadway, and they're playing musicals there.
Can you go out and get on the subways?
Actually, that's actually the loading screens. Loading screens is actually you on the subway, like, talking with people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool, because, I mean, I love taking subways and stuff, too.
Yeah, and it's really cool. But overall, man, this is actually probably my favorite Spider-Man game. And I played a lot as well, you know, like the one you were talking about, with on the PS1 where you ran away from Carnage.
Yeah, at the very end of it, when you
yeah.
had to escape. That was the first game. I mean, besides like Mega Man, the gen before that, you know, it was common to have those stages where you have to run from the lava as the lava rises, or run away faster than the blast is coming, and there's a bunch of obstacles in your way. I love that.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's classic platformer style. And then on that part, yeah, like, he was fast. Like, if you missed one little slip,
Carnage was on your ass, and he got you.
And you died on that part over and over and over. And it was like, you get a little bit further each time, and then finally you make it. You're like, oh, yes. You know, I mean, it's so...
Yeah.
I love that classic platformer style. And where you and I had talked about playing Donkey Kong Country Returns and then Tropical Freeze, they're ridiculously good. I will say, out of every platformer I've ever played in my life, the Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze, probably the best ever made. I mean, I'm putting that up there with the top Mega Man X games because those are my favorite franchises, but I put them up there with that. But yeah, I mean, back on the subject of Spider-Man, I do have a nostalgia for Spider-Man. I'm not a Marvel fanboy by any means, but I think Spider-Man in its own universe, I don't know, it's very likable, you know?
Which that's what this is. This one, it actually, you know how you like the Sam Raimi movies? You can actually unlock the suit from those movies to have in this.
That's really cool.
That's, and all the stuff that's in this game pays tribute in some way to all the Spider-Man continuums without actually dedicating and saying, oh, it's actually part of this. It's its own beast, and that's the beautiful part of it. Because when you're swinging through the city and you hear that score that's very reminiscent of the Sam Raimi movies theme that was done by Alan Silvestri, you're just like, oh, this is home. This is home right now. I'm at home. And, you know, you get down on the ground, and then the epic music swells up right when you get into a fight and everything. It's like, oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to play this.
You
taught me into it.
Yeah, well...
I feel like this video will talk you into it even more, probably.
Yeah, because for those of you not aware and haven't looked at the title...
You get me excited for something that's been out for like a year now.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine, though. But, hey, we got
I
a copy
did miss
of
out
it.
on it, though.
We got a copy of it right up there, man. We'll get it to you, and you can have fun with it. But... for those of you who have, who haven't read the title of the video, Spicy Sarcastic Superjerk, a.k.a. Spider-Man, PS4, by TheRussianBadger. That's right, that Russian Badger. And I guess it's high time that we dive headfirst into this web of hilarity. And let's see what Badger has for us. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
That'll teach those orphans not to fuck with me. Oh, the hell is that? Oh shit, my pizza! Come on, hit me. Just shift your feet, put fist to face, and hit me.
Like that?
Yeah, that's it. Only this time, you gotta hit me. Come on, hit me! Hit me! Oh, my fucking molars!
You have your marketing department cook that name up?
Spoiler/shitpost alert! If you're worried about me spoiling the plot or breaking your immersion, please find another video.
I'm not afraid of spoilers.
Okay.
Spider-Man is back. He's still shooting sticky stuff into the faces of grown men and still not paying his goddamned rent. It's the student loans, Yuri. Just give me some cash. Only this time, instead of J. Jonah Jameson screaming, "Get me more pictures of Spider-Man," it's a little bit more like, "Get me more enemies of Spider-Man." Oh, this ought to be good. Which enemies, you might ask? How about Dr. Octopus, Rhino, Mr. Negative, Vulture, Electro, and Scorpion, aka the Sinister Six? Wow, that's a little much. I know I'm a superhero, but that's 6 guys. Plus Shocker, plus Taskmaster, plus Devil's Breath, plus Sable and her mercs, plus Tombstone, who, by the way, is not a gigantic pizza like I was expecting. Goddamn, that's like 9 dudes, an infectious disease, and a giant frozen pizza. Can't you guys just call in the National Guard? Plus the marketing department. I almost forgot about them. That's who you're up against. And I know you may counter by saying, isn't the marketing department just another way of saying Tombstone? To which I reply, yes, because Tombstone, well, he is the marketing department. I am the marketing department. Now you may be thinking that this monumental dream team that Spidey Boy is up against makes for a daunting campaign, and it does. But I had such a blast with it that I beat it once, normally, and beat it again via New Game Plus in the old school comic costume so that I could channel my inner shitposting Spider-Man SUPERJERK.
So
How is this happening?
Yes.
Do you
Oh, that's
not
cool.
know who
All
Spider-Man
cutscenes,
is?
everything. It's
Thankfully,
all
this
rendered
burdensome
in-game like
task
God of
becomes
War.
much easier once you realize how retarded overpowered Spider-Man is right now, and I hate myself for even mentioning this, but in case you're blinder than Daredevil, his movement skills are smoother than Jif Peanut Butter. You want to jump 90 feet in the air?
It's got scenes like that?
Yes.
Here comes Spider-Man!
Done. You want to swing 3 blocks? Done. Spring like a gazelle off of any sturdy surface? Done. Ride the subway and pretend you're not really Spider-Man? Done. Give gravity the middle finger and spin around for 3 hours? Done. Well, technically that's a suit power, but we'll cover that later.
Dude.
I said we'll cover that later. And if you think Spidey's movement is overpowered, then your fighting skills are downright ludicrous because you've got an endless number of ways to turn your enemies into vegetables. Not actual vegetables like the carrots that Aunt May can't seem to cut correctly because my PS4 Pro refuses to accurately render them, or maybe she's got dementia or something. Aunt May, that isn't how you cut carrots! I mean figurative, I can't talk anymore because Spider-Man gave me traumatic brain damage and I will never perform motor functions ever again. Type vegetable.
That's a trip to the ICU.
But hey, just like Injustice 2, as long as you're non-lethal and they don't die, everything is A-okay.
So you won't kill, but you're fine with traumatic brain injuries.
So yes, you can beat the shit out of people, but why do that when you're basically a character ripped out of an MMORPG with a big-ass scroll wheel that I like to call spammable sticky shit that's basically cheating? The beginner tier is your basic webbing that can stick enemies to surfaces or wrap them up like a burrito to be thrown off of a skyscraper.
Get over here! Yeet!
1, 2, 3, 4, and alley-oop! He's definitely alive.
The intermediate tier is your impact web, which basically does the same thing, only instantly, and hits enemies like a belt from a stepfather.
Hey, buddy, hold this for me. That would be
Just
probably
tuck
my
your
most
knees,
used
you'll be
ability right
fine.
there.
And then shit just goes
It's a given.
totally off the rails, like spider drones, electric webs, web bombs, trip mines, suspension matrices, you know, just a bunch of shit that makes the booby traps of Vietnam look like amateur hour. But personally, I usually stick with a concussion blast, because why would I deal with each baddie individually when I can just unleash a single unrelenting force and call it a day? Foos!
Okay.
Rhoda!
Hey, fellas, is it just me, or is it a bit windy up here? Or is it bush? Oh, he survived.
The major mechanic beyond sticky spider garbage that you're spamming at people is called focus. And the faster you clobber your enemies, the faster this bar builds that allows you to either heal yourself or hit up a finisher move that's guaranteed to put the recipient into a coma.
Ow, my foot hurts now.
I would tell you that there's a shit ton of dodging involved in fighting, but I think your spidey senses were already tingling. I sense a faint smell of danger. Aw shit, that's a gun. Once you've gotten a grasp on the basics, you're introduced to some familiar faces like Yuri Watanabe, who's your Commissioner Gordon for all you Batman fans out there, that's simultaneously helpful and really sick of your shit.
Spider Cop.
Please no.
The chief never did understand Spider Cop. Thought he was a loose kid.
Already regretting this.
Spider Cop is officially retired.
Oh, thank God. I need a drink.
J. Jonah Jameson, who ditched the Daily Bugle for a podcast, and for those of you too young to have enjoyed J.K. Simmons and the original Spider-Man,
Cash money for a picture of Spider-Man. He doesn't
You
want
want
to
to
be
be famous? Then I'll make him infamous.
is basically if Dr. Disrespect was obsessed with superheroes and had a podcast.
This is Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson, where listeners like you discuss the issues affecting our city with Pulitzer Prize winning two-time Pulitzer Prize winning.
And of course, Mary Jane Watson. And heed my warning as I say this.
The worst fucking part of the entire goddamn game.
I know this sounds like a joke, but in the
Yeah.
campaign, she quite literally wants to be your partner.
No, not a sidekick. A partner.
Interesting idea, MJ, but what about that whole part where you don't have a fucking superpower, you moron? Her character is nothing short of dumb, naive, and nagging.
I may not have super
I
spider
wouldn't go
powers,
that
but I'm
far.
not made out of glass.
Head down to Med Central. A couple of suspects down here.
Mix. I Like the last 6 months never happened?
But above all else, her inclusion in gameplay just doesn't make sense. Same goes for that punk kid Miles too. Like, why is she here?
What are you doing here?
She's got a ton of mandatory stealth missions that are such a joke, because in each one of them, I was thinking to myself, Spider-Man could have done this 10 times easier, 10 times faster, with virtually zero risk, because, you know, he's fucking Spider-Man, and he has these things called superpowers.
That place is crawling with guards. How are you trying to reach him?
Wait!
The taser eventually makes things bearable, but why the hell is MJ even a part of this game outside of mild hints or cutscenes like a Yuri Watanabe?
Yuri, this place is full of fist guys with suspicious bulges.
I can't order a raid over bulges.
Instead of having a skip button on the puzzles, they should have put it on the stealth missions of Miles and MJ, because they're not even good stealth. Like Splinter Cell, they're just linear, predictable stealth that's wedged into the plot for character development that nobody cares about.
Huh? What was that? What dumbass can't put their shit away?
Thankfully, for all of the downside of MJ and Miles, there's the upside of other characters. Like, don't even try to tell me that Silver Sable isn't best girl.
Ding dong, your opinion is wrong.
You missed all of those shots, but I don't even care, your hair is so perfect. And Black Cat is in the same boat, because with her obvious skills in deadly acrobatics and self-reliance, she would have been a true partner for Peter instead of the wannabe superhero intern that MJ is. God, you are such a bummer. But the ultimate redemption for having such a shitty time with MJ/Miles? This guy. Oh shit, it's my main man, Taskmaster.
The name's Taskmaster.
Much like Tombstone, the only crime the Taskmaster committed was not being in the game more often, because with his baller-ass suit and dry tone, I'm so butthurt that he's only a side mission and not a full-blown main character.
I've got toe-to-toe with the Avengers. You're nothing. I'm impressed.
And yet you sound like you want to kill me.
Not yet.
I beat you, you ran away. Conclusion, you lose.
Not yet.
He's one of the many characters that you'll meet while not doing story missions that I'll just go ahead and label activities.
Who is this?
Wrong question. The correct one is, can you stop the bombs I've planted?
His particular type of activities are challenges like defusing bombs that are about to explode, and the faster you perform, the more handsomely you're rewarded.
A group of mercenaries are about to kill a diplomat. Better hurry.
But there's plenty of other activities to give you a brief respite from the terrible stealth missions, like sinking comm towers to give you a better visual on the map, taking pictures of dumbass cats for Felicia, and collecting old backpacks, which is kinda neat, I guess.
An unpaid medical bill? That's a good place to put that.
You can capture pigeons for a homeless guy, which is not only fun, but also hilarious, because how are you spending your time while crime is everywhere, the city's on fire, and the bad guys are trying to release the deadly devil's breath epidemic?
So basically, I'm pigeon. Don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody knows that the bird is the word.
You'll also be taking pictures of landmarks, or really,
yes, that's cool.
Anything else that catches your eye. The majority of these activities are just random crime that you'll come across where you need to ball up the baddies or kick somebody out of a moving vehicle, which is harder than you may expect.
I got it. I don't got it.
But above all else, the brilliant subtlety of Harry Osborn's challenges are hilarious. So get this. He's got these outposts where you have to swing through clouds of gas filled with toxins and carcinogens, with the end goal of identifying where the pollution is coming from and stopping the source.
The idea is to catch the, contaminants before they reach toxic levels. Between you and me, I think Oscorp wants this to fail because it might show they're polluting.
And in case the cartoon Spidey suit doesn't make it already obvious, these are posts where you swing through toxic gas, sacrificing your own health to stop the culprits. So what I'm saying is, This post gives you cancer. That post gave me cancer. Thanks a lot.
You can thank me by not dying.
But giving yourself cancer isn't all bad, because these activities like backpack collection, bomb disposal, and crime fighting grant you various tokens that allow you to upgrade your Spidey boy into a Spider-Man.
You mortals will never stop me.
On my first playthrough, I basically blew it all in the suits because my goodness, does the game ever have some god-tier suits.
I will endure 1,000 deaths before I yield.
The white 2099 suit, the stealth suit, the spirit spider suit, even the scarlet spider.
Man, I was hoping you were really Spider-Man. That cheap suit ain't fooling anybody.
You sure about that?
And although I'm a little pooper pain that there's no Carnage suit like the last game, I'll let it slide because the vintage suit exists and you can get pretty close to Venom with the stealth suit and the right filter.
We are Venom.
Gotta stop Julie.
But these suits aren't just a cosmetic upgrade to Peter, because with each new suit unlocked, you unlock a new super ability called the Suit Power to really take it to the baddies.
All right, let's do this.
You want to look like a comfy leather chair, zapping your enemies and lagging your PS4 Pro with each punch? Electrically insulated is a natural choice.
Ah, my frame!
You want to blast a fat nut on everybody in a 30-foot radius? Hit up Web Blossom with the classic suit. Just be careful busting around Felicia. She may want to try to get child support.
Damn! It really do be like that in November.
Make yourself a true Spider-Man with additional spider arms, throw out 3 decoys to give your enemies cognitive dissonance, even hit up Concussion Strike that makes you hit harder than Metal Mario.
You're insisting on a biscuit.
I'm a little shitter shattered that they didn't include either a Pretzel Spider-Man or a Timberland Spider-Man, but hey, maybe it'll be DLC. I really hope it's DLC.
Actually tying the laces on your Tims? Yeah, I'm sending this to the cops.
But you can spend your tokens elsewhere, because on my second playthrough, I blew it all on upgrading suit mods and gadgets to enhance my incessant web spamming.
This is what I like to call getting dumpster.
That basically means that your concussions are that much more powerful.
Today's forecast is windy, so the chance is windier.
Your webbing hits that much harder.
God, they're like bouncy balls now.
And everything about fighting becomes that much more effortless.
Don't worry, buddy, I'm not gonna hurt you. What are you getting?
I can't believe you
fell for that.
My favorite is webbing somebody to a mailbox or a trash can and yeeting it across the block. It's truly the best way to dispose of mortal scum.
They call me the trash man. Catch, buddy. Yes. My God, what have I done? Can I get an F in chat? Wait, is it a felony if this is a mailbox? Oh God, I think he's stuck. Is this what murder looks like?
Oh.
Am I a murderer now?
You're gonna need these upgrades to take down Mr. Negative, whose goons aren't nearly as difficult as they are, in the words of Morbo from Futurama,
belligerent and numerous.
Mr. Negative himself isn't that cool because he's essentially just an eyes glow meme come to life.
Looking at the security footage, the guard was in some kind of trance. And it might have been the lighting, but it looked like his eyes
that
were
looks so
glowing.
satisfying.
But he does occupy the bulk of the missions, including the APC and Crane missions, which are just the best. So I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, the
Scorpion
set
section is also top tier, given the visuals, but the difficulty is just hilarious. Now, if I were a dumbass scorpion dripping with Mountain Dew, where would I be?
Behind you!
Yo.
What's that? One scorpion doesn't scare you? How about 6 scorpions? You're not dying to the giant stinger popping out of the Mountain Dew oasis? How about 10 stingers? But nobody, and I mean nobody, compares to the biggest enemies in the game.
Heavy boys.
Swordsmen, easy. Small users, easy. Every villain in the campaign, I sleep. Oh Lord, it's the heavy boys.
Real shit.
Absolute fucking nightmares. They must all be genetic descendants of Kingpin, Syndrome, or an M1A1 Abrams, because they're no-nonsense tanks that are denser than iridium.
And concrete mix. And cinder block. And pipe in the face. And wooden wheel. You dense mother...
You've got to use 2 bars of focus to perform a finisher on them, and their only weakness is gravity.
Lifting you up, webbing you up, and heavy boy, I'd like you to meet... physics!
I'd say Tombstone's crackheads are the closest thing to heavy boys because they're kind of like mini supervillains.
Yeah! Let's go, come on! Crack is whack!
But they've also got an Achilles heel, which happens to be the ubiquitous amounts of shit they give you to throw at them.
Motorbike, oil drum, more drum, trash can, motorbike, more motorbike, the same motorbike, oil drum.
I'm no Danny DeLito trash man, but I'm pretty sure that in combat terms, one enemy is equal to 3 trash cans.
I'm the trash man. God damn it. I said, I'm the trash man.
The Sable dudes sound amazing because I'm pretty sure they share the voice actor for the Q alert in Counter-Strike.
This is Control. Where are we with Union Square? Let's roll.
But they are laughably incompetent. Like, they claim to be the best in the world, yet they have the shittiest aim on the planet and transport extremely dangerous substances in regular black sedans when an APC the size of a C-130 busts open their best laid plans.
Just be careful. In the wrong hands, this could...
Don't worry, we're the best in the world.
Spared no expense.
What the hell is that? Get off me! We got this!
Yeah, sure looks like it, Chief.
But at least you'll get to see Silver Sable if there's a cutscene.
This is Silver Sablinova, head of Sable International, a private security force.
You harass my men, destroy my equipment, and cost my client millions. Give me one good reason I should not kill you right now.
Aren't you a billionaire that owns your own country? Why do you care about millions of dollars? That's like pocket change.
I feel like they should have added a hyper-aggressive police force like the LCPD on your side so you could have gang fights with Silver Sable, but I guess Insomnia doesn't appreciate my bright ideas.
Sit down, asshole!
This is the LCPD! Prepare to die! I see you, punk! Keep running! You are surrounded! Give me that Michael Beasant leg!
And finally, the Black Cat Heist DLC is extremely fun, extremely short, and basically just 2 to 3 hours of sexual tension from multiple parties.
I really tried going straight. I need to go deeper. Some things I do better alone. I'll call you if I need an extra pair of hands.
Once I crack these files, maybe we can combine my chocolate with your peanut butter. Do not make a saucy joke out of that.
Her figure is hilarious because now the developers catch bad press for low-cut shirts and massive cup sizes like the last Black Cat. Why not just make your female temptress
Tommy Thick? Black Cat, why the fuck are you so damn chunky?
That way, it's just a womanly figure and family-friendly. 10 out of 10.
Who said I'm here for the art?
Wow, that adds a lot of value.
I mean, I don't know if Felicia can complain about being objectified given what I have to go through every day.
Spider-Man, you're everything I love about this city.
Stop objectifying me.
Now there's a guy who puts in the effort.
You know I can hear you, right?
But we all know that she's just a ruse to distract you from the real prize here, Rhino.
Rhino! Why the fuck are you so damn chunky?
Who is so outer space thick that he has his own gravitational pull. So in the end, I love this take on Spider-Man, and it's a masterpiece of a game, except for this horse shit that I'll fondly remember forever, especially my shitposting playthrough.
Aunt May, no.
You know, is all this on the main storyline?
She never
Is it
could
really
cut carrots
or is it
correctly.
all
And
these
that's about
side
it.
stories?
I would like to thank
Most
you
of it
so
is.
very much for watching. And be
Most
sure
of it
to
is,
tune in next
some
time
of the
when
stuff's
I
on
go
the,
to sleep, because this shit took me forever, and I am
So yeah, most of the stuff you saw in there is actually in the main storyline. However, certain villains are only available through side missions, like Taskmaster, Tombstone. They're more side missions, but their side missions are relatively easy, and they still have like a lot of depth in the Spider-Man lore, and plus you get rewards for shit like that. But also finding the backpack, you actually find little like callbacks to the movies and stuff like that. For instance, you find in one of the old backpack. I think if you collect all the backpacks, you actually get Pete's suit, the first suit that he wore in the wrestling match. You know,
yeah,
the sweatshirt and the
hoodie.
Yeah, the hoodie and everything. I think you get that. I'm not 100% sure on that. I forget which one you get that from.
I know you can get that for sure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's awesome. It's awesome that they went to such depths with giving us this game, and it just goes to show you, man. I mean, when you have a team as dedicated as Insomniac working on this, and their quality is, to me, never been in doubt. in terms of like what they're able to put out. All the way back from when I first played Time Splitters. I mean, Time Splitters, Ratchet and Clank, and now this, dude. I mean, to me, they can't do wrong.
Yep. I really enjoyed Time Splitters too.
Yeah, TS2 was probably my favorite of the series.
Yeah, we played that at LAN parties after everybody got burnt out on Halo after so many hours.
Yeah,
and we popped in that, and everybody just kind of got in there and did the same thing.
Oh yeah,
it was a fun game.
And shooting mechanics, I liked it a lot. I mean, it was sort of like a PG-13 Halo.
Yeah.
Still violent in some ways, but not like...
It was kind of goofy funny in a lot of ways, too, just with the character animations.
Well, I love
overall, it had some really cool guns and stuff in it that was just...
I loved whenever you played as a zombie, and when you got killed, if you got shot in the head, your head would literally roll off.
Yeah.
I loved shit like that. And you see, when it's finer details like that, because if you have something good at the base level with a game... like something amazing, but yet you go in depth with some of the stuff behind the scenes, that's when it pushes it into the stratosphere in terms of, for me, immersion.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not annoying. If it gets annoying, then I'll just be like...
that's why I like Burnout so much. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Burnout's a prime example. Racing game formulas were really great in that era, and they really just threw a curveball in it when they made... I mean, that's a lot of work, though, to make that damage happen, though, and I think that's why a lot of people don't do it, because you have to take that same 3D model and make various versions of it for each and every piece and part on each car, and that's a lot to... But they could do it, though. There's ways they can do that with making destruction on everything like that. It's cool. It's just, it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I know if I was doing something like that, that would just... Whew.
Yeah.
I'd have to figure out a way to get it done, though. I'd be like, I can't have that.
Absolutely
I
not.
like breakables.
But of all the stuff that he listed in this video, I can safely say that he's mostly on the nose with everything he said. Although the parts with MJ and Miles, I didn't mind as much because A, they're not that long, and B, I
hope they were a good diversion from the normal gameplay for a bit to give you a break from doing the same stuff as Spider-Man over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, more content,
I enjoyed the story elements to them, but the point about like Spider-Man could have done one or two of those things for sure, like a lot easier. There's one or two ports where they give you a good reason as to why you're doing that as them, but like the Miles Morales part actually is really good in my opinion.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the first time you play as him is awesome.
Yeah.
Because for those of you out there who are not aware, Miles Morales eventually becomes a version of Spider-Man.
Also, it's a lot more tolerable when MJ gets the taser as well. So.
Yes. Because I think it's hilarious. You just walk up behind and it's like, there's no one here. And then all of a sudden just down.
Yep.
It's freaking hilarious. But yeah, the combat's fun. The gadgets are fun. It's fun finding all the collectibles, all the side missions. I can't really think of side missions that weren't fun. I can't really think of any that were not fun in certain ways. And I'll lend it to you up there, man. And if you want to have a shot at playing it, go right ahead. Because
one thing I think that could have made the game even better, though, it would have involved them directly ripping off the concept. But they should have done it, which is rip off Arkham City and have some sections of the game where you switch over and play as Black Cat.
Yeah.
Because like in Arkham City, you have some sections where Batman is out for the moment, and you get to switch over and play as Catwoman, and those sections are pretty bitchin'.
Actually, I'm thinking, okay, go with me on a journey.
Because Black Cat's like the closest thing I have to like a waifu, because she's fucking cute in that game.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Even though she's not a real person.
But yeah, she is awesome though. Okay. Go with me on this journey. Imagine, if you will, Miles. We actually get an option to play as him in the next game, but not only that, but drop in, drop out multiplayer, 2 players. Where
perhaps
you can have effectively 2 Spider-Man swinging around the city.
You have to build the game in a way that it could support that well enough. But.
I think effectively what they have here is plenty enough to support it. It's just them implementing a multiplayer.
One of the things that I have a problem with that usually is just like a lot of the times it's hard to make co-op like that make sense within the storyline, because you either have to build it to where, yes, they're always there, in which case it doesn't make sense whenever you're playing in between if you're not playing with a friend and they're playing the other character, unless they do them as an AI, which AI is always shit when you have it. Like, you know, as a co-op partner.
For the most part, there's some AIs
either
that do work. I mean,
or-
Atreus worked wonderfully.
Yeah, either that or you don't have them involved in any of the cutscenes, so it's like while they're doing everything with you, they get completely left out of the story, and that sucks too. There's always problems with that way of building
I
it.
essentially liked it the way Halo 1 did it, you know, like with you just don't appear in the cutscenes and stuff like that, because, I don't know, you just kind of both get to play, but
Yeah,
it's one story.
it
I mean,
still doesn't make a lot of sense when you see the cutscenes that way.
Yeah. But then it just becomes stuff where you're stuck as playing as other characters, and not a lot of people like that. I don't mind it in most games, but there's certain games that's out there that just.
I remember
are just not
playing
worth it.
through Halo 3, Master Chief and the Arbiter were player 1 and player 2.
Yep.
I thought that was awesome because, you know, you effectively had the same powers, same abilities and everything, and it's just now you're working together.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I've always loved co-op games, though. That's how I experienced all the God of Wars.
Mhm.
Well, up to the newest one. I haven't played it yet. Yeah, I gotta put that money on my Game Pass. I keep forgetting to do that, but.
Yeah, are you? You said Gears of War or God of War?
Or Gears of War.
Okay, Gears of War.
Gears of War 5.
Yeah, sorry, my brain shut down there for a second. It was
It's
like,
okay. I may have said it. I get them mixed up all the time when I just rolls off my.
It's okay. I get what you're saying
Yeah,
about
co-op
that, though.
experiences are just awesome.
They are.
Split screen couch co-op. You know, the online co-op is cool, but I like sitting on a couch with my friends, kind of like we are now, and you know, doing a split screen playthrough. You know, that's.
Yeah, I wish there were more co-op games, but it's like the game always has to be a certain kind of game to really work well with co-op at the same time, you know?
Yep.
It's just if it's not the right kind of game for co-op, it's not going to be as fun, and it's not going to work very well. For some reason to me, like, if somebody else could come up with a better idea for it, that would be awesome, but Spider-Man just doesn't seem like a very co-op oriented game.
It kind of doesn't seem like that.
It doesn't seem like one that would lend itself well to it.
Well,
it would be fun,
for me, it's just an idea.
Also, think of the fact that having two Spider-Mans with the same kits, if you were overpowered to start with, playing it co-op, it's just going to be ridiculous because you can start comboing shit together, and it would just get fucking easy mode. Like, they would have to, like, really beef up, like, the number of enemies and the resistance of them and stuff just to still make it fair for the enemies at all.
Mm. I get what you're saying. I understand that. And truth is, I just said it as, like, an idea or a concept. Maybe they're playing with that idea where they're emphasizing very heavily on including Miles now. Which, I like Miles Morales.
I feel like he's going to come in as, like, a character you can switch to occasionally, like, maybe with powers eventually, too, so...
Well, yeah.
We'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm hoping they make a second one of these.
Well...
It was so successful, I don't know why they wouldn't.
From what I understand, Insomniac has already started work on it.
Cool.
I mean, number one, they already have, like, the main gameplay.
At the same time, I'm kind of like, hey, Insomniac, you haven't made Resistance this console generation. I would still like to see that.
Yeah, well, we all want things that we can't have sometimes.
Yeah.
But, alright, ladies and gentlemen.
Resistance was better than Killzone, fight me. Like,
fair enough.
Killzone Shadowfall was pretty cool still, but like Resistance 4 would have been a lot more something I was excited about.
Alright. Well, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, just so you all know, if you want to see the original video and the creator, feel free to check out the link down below in the description to go to RussianBadger's channel. I mean, he puts out new videos all the time, and they are, majority of the time, flipping hilarious. And, yeah, if you want to see more from us, I mean, there's a subscribe button down there, as well as a bell that you can ring to stay notified. And until next time, everybody, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick, and if you ask why I compared Resistance to Killzone, it's because they're both just first-person shooter exclusive PlayStation games. So,
and I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you later, everybody.
See you.
Peace out.